Hi, my name is Sheila Willis of Impact Tourism, the developer of the History Check mobile app. Welcome to History Bytes, your daily dose of Alberta historical trivia. Brought to you in partnership with Belt Drive Betty Media and the Canadian Motorcycle Tourism Association. You can register to answer the questions for a shot to win prizes, or just take the quiz to satisfy your own brain power. Either way, we're excited to see how much of Alberta's history you really know. So yesterday's question was the area now known as Millwoods in Edmonton once A, an exclusive members-only game farm, B, the Papaschase Reserve IR 136, or C, a Hutterite Colony? And the correct answer is B, the Papaschase Reserve IR 136. In the late 1850s, Chief Papaschase and other family members settled in the Fort Edmonton area to hunt and trade, occasionally being employed by the Hudson's Bay Company. There are at least 31 of the Papaschase ancestors buried in the Rossdale Flats graves down by the river. The history of the Papaschase Reserve starts in 1877, when Chief Papaschase and his brother signed an adhesion to Treaty 6. In the same year, it was recommended that the land be surveyed for Edmonton area reserves, but IR 136 was not included. It was surveyed in 1880. The same year, treaty payments were made to 188 Papaschase members. What is notable about this is that there were another 84 members, but they had been moved to a newly created list called the Edmonton Stragglers. This was the beginning of an effort to have the Papaschase surrender their reserve so the land could be sold. It was, after all, prime real estate by the Calgary-Edmonton Trail. In both 1881 and 1883, petitions were sent to the Crown for the surrender of the lands. In 1885, the Half-Breed Script Commission arrived in Edmonton. The buffalo were virtually, if not extinct, and the indigenous people were starving. Land speculators were out in full force to induce treaty Indians to accept scrip, which also meant losing their treaty rights. In July of 1886, 102 of the Papaschase band accepted scrip with the understanding that they could still occupy their land or reserve. This thought was reinforced when the federal government allowed them to harvest their crops. In the next year, the remainder of the band was persuaded, which might not be the correct term, to move to other reserves. The land was sold to non-Indigenous people from 1890 to 1930. I'd like to thank Chief Bruno of the Papaschase First Nation for supplying me with this information, and also to congratulate the band for the opening of their gas station on Calgary Trail in January 2020. It's the first time a First Nation has run a gas station within Edmonton city limits, so it's history in the making. And tomorrow's question is, the sign for Highway 16 in Alberta displays a yellow head because A, they wanted it to be visible in the dark, B, to recognize an explorer named Pierre, or C, to match the yellow line. Come back tomorrow for the answer and the story that goes along with it. Enjoy!